Hey y'all, I'm Elisa, the Scrappy Wife behind ScrappyWife.com, and today I have a power verse process for you. I am working in my classic size faith planner, and from time to time I create power verse sheets, which are just verses that are having an impact on me, and I letter out the verse and do some decorating, and that's what I'm planning on doing today. So there is a new set in the Illustrated Faith print and pray shop. It is for Project Gr8tful. So Project Gr8tful is a project that started in November of 2021. It is not too late to start. It is all about focusing on gratitude on a daily basis. And each month, Kelly Bangs releases a new printable set for Project Gr8tful. First of all, there's gorgeous numbers because the goal is to do three things that you're grateful for each day. So you have the gorgeous numbers, and then I already cut out a bunch of the little bits and pieces and ephemera. You guys, it's so cute, so packed full of like all the things. You're really, look at this one. I love these layered pieces. You're really going to like it. And look at all of this beautiful like cross stitch kind of look. I love it. So I've already cut it up. I am excited to use it. It should be a pretty simple sheet here. I'm going to use this Happy Planner paper to get started, and I will link everything that I end up using down below, so you can feel free to check that out. Again, this printable set is in the Print and Pray shop over at Illustrated Faith. Otherwise, I'll put you guys on fast forward. Let's go. These sets that Kelly Bangs is releasing each month that are all about Project Gr8tful really lend themselves to working in your planner. So the sizing of all of the different boxes, just the number of boxes and tags and little note places that you get really works well in a planner. I also love that Kelly is including PNG files. So if you have a Cricut or a Silhouette, you'll be able to easily cut these out without having to create your own PNG files. So really check it out. I use them all the time in my faith planner, not just for Powerverse pages, but in my regular faith planning. I really like these cross stitching patterns. They kind of just remind me of a really delicate, beautiful washi tape. And I'm going to add it at the top and bottom. This paper that I'm using from the Happy Planner is part of the Marabou Designs paper. I think it is so beautiful. And I love that in Kelly's sets, she has all of these framed art pieces. And they remind me of beautiful cross-stitch pieces that you would see at maybe your grandmother's house. I just think they're so pretty, and I feel like cross-stitching has really made like a huge comeback. I've seen so much of it on Pinterest and on Instagram recently, so I love that it's included in here because it definitely feels just beautiful and light and ready for March. So I chose a couple of the pieces that have the warm wood tone frames. Because I liked what was written in those, and also because I like the contrast between the really light pastels and these particular pieces. So this one right here says, I consider that our present sufferings are not worth comparing with the glory that will be revealed in us. And that's Romans 8:18. And next to it, I'm going to just kind of nestle in. This is a teapot and a teacup. The verse that I'm going to be journaling, that's going to be my power verse, is actually Exodus 14:14. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. And this is a verse I've been thinking about a lot. I don't know if you've ever had times where you might not be going through a trial per se, but you have close friends or close family that are going through a trial, and it can be really hard when you feel like your hands are tied, when you feel like you can't do anything about it, and you're called to pray and you are praying for your friend, but I am someone that's a doer, and I want to be very active in doing something, and sometimes prayer doesn't feel like that for me, and so I struggle. And so I'm coming back to this verse as a reminder that prayer is what God asks for us. He wants us to be still. He is there. He is fighting. We never have to doubt that in the least. And so this is an important verse for me in many different facets of life, but in this particular time, it's coming back to just a reminder that I can't fix everything, that it is really up to God. All right, once I get all the pieces trimmed, now I'm ready to do the lettering. I am using the calligraph markers here. These are from Archer and Olive. I love them. They are fantastic. They are actually out of stock. I was just looking the other day when I was recording this. Hopefully they're bringing them back. These are fantastic lettering pens, but I was nervous to use it because I wanted to use a lighter color. I didn't want to use black. And that meant I could not come through with a pencil first. Like I was going to have to letter with the actual marker, which is a little bit scary in the spacing idea because I'm not super great at knowing where things should be spatially. I have an idea, and so I wanted to be able to vary the size of the font and kind of emphasize the words "be it still." And so that's what I'm doing. Now the calligraph pens have two sides, a smaller and a bigger side. So I'm using the smaller one for most of the lettering, and then Be Still, I'm using the big side. And I love that they're slightly different colors because then on the Be Still, I can come back with the smaller side and add a little bit of kind of a natural shading there. And you'll see that come across in the pictures. So getting that all lettered, that was sped up a lot, just in case you're a lettering person and you're wondering how I was able to do it so fast. That was sped up by 8 times. I take my time on lettering. I go nice and slow. I double check the spelling and the verse just to make sure I get it all correct. On the back of my Power Verse sheets, I like to include a lot of different places where I can notate different times that this verse comes up in my life. So the idea with the Power Verse sheets is that I will transfer them from Faith Planner to Faith Planner, and some of them I've gone back to already, some of them I haven't gone back to already, but I know I will because I know they are impactful verses, and I want to be able to have a place where I can kind of notate what is happening, when it came back, put a date, and just what my prayer is at that point. And I think that's a really cool way to document your faith journey, to just kind of see how God is speaking to you at different points in your life. I think keeping a prayer journal is a great way to do that. And for me, Power Verses is another great way. So like I said, Kelly's sets that she creates that are in line with Project Gr8tful have all of these gorgeous boxes that are decorative. They're meant to hold your gratitude, to be able to decorate a journal of some sort and keep your 3 things that you're grateful for each day. I actually keep my gratitude in a different place in my regular planner, and so I'm able to use these boxes in a variety of ways. Plus you get so many. It's really, really fantastic. So I'm kind of picking an array of the framed pieces and the boxes. So up here it says love one another, John 13:34. I have one that says hope that I'm layering in there. I have one that says faithful and one that says how he loves us. So each frame is kind of layered with a box. I'll include a little bit more cross stitching just to bring in that trend all the way across. And then I happen to really like this tag with the scene in the background. Lots of places to write on this page. And I was going to end it here, but I did not realize when I was cutting out all of my things that on the pages with the numbers are these adorable little girls. So Kelly does include these every month with Project Gr8tful, and I'm not sure why I forgot that they would be there. So I saw them and knew that they were going to need to find their way onto this page because I happen to really love these dancing whimsical girls. So it started with one. I wanted to fill in a little bit of white space right here, and then it escalates pretty quickly because I decide, well, if I have a girl on the back, I should probably have a girl on the front. And if I have one girl on the front, I should probably have 2 girls on the front, and so on until I had used all of these sweet little girls all over the page. But I think they're so fun. They're so whimsical. And they worked really well. I actually don't like a lot of white space. I like to really fill my spreads. And so I'm going for it. I'm going to cut out all of these little girls and just use them all over the place. This little redhead ends up getting moved ever so slightly because I don't want her foot to disappear. I don't want her to get cut off the page. So I'm going to switch this girl right here, my brunette and my redhead. They'll switch places and I'll get them down on the paper. And then I'll take my attention to the back. These were a little bit tricky. I should have probably pulled out my Xyron sticker maker. Another thing that is great with this is if you print it on sticker paper. So either white sticker paper, I think white because it's really easy to write on, and especially with all the boxes in this set, that makes a lot of sense. So then you don't have to worry about adding the adhesive. But my Xyron sticker maker also would have made it a little bit easier to add adhesive, but I just wasn't feeling going to find it and pull it out. So I just decided I would just work with that Tombow. So a little extra trimming to get my last two girls all ready to go. One right here. I struggled a little bit with the placement of the third one. I just don't want to cover up any boxes. Like I need the room to write in the boxes. And so this one struggled a little bit. And because I ended up putting her down low, I had some white space that I didn't like, which no worries. I was able to find a few extra tiny little cross stitch pieces that I could fill in a few extra little shapes and banners and things like that across the page. All right, so this is almost going to be it for this Power Verse spread. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider hitting that subscribe button as well as the bell notification button. Like I said before, I will link everything down in the description box below so you can check out those links if you want to find any of these products, including these printables from Kelly Bangs. I also want to give a huge shout out to my Scrappy Patreon members. You guys are so awesome. Thank you so much for all of your support. If you want to find out more about Patreon and some of the perks you can receive as a member, make sure to click the description box, and there is a link in there below. All right, I hope that you have a fabulous day, and as always, keep it creative.